of Villa Rica, and this pink color here was a very, very small shading. Now it's covering more real estate here, and we can zoom in. This is Douglas County, northwestern Douglas County. This is going to be just south of South Paulding High School, moving through Flying Ranchettes, Villa Rica, Ephesus Heights, moving into White City, and this is going to be just to the north of Bay Springs Middle School. This whole little quadrant right here is where we're picking up radar estimates of hail that's about, this is probably an inch in diameter. Right, yeah, an inch in diameter hail here. That's what we call quarter size, the size of an actual quarter picking up in this thunderstorm. We have to watch this because this is expanding, right? Something we've seen with some of these hail cores over the course of the last few hours is that they expand, and then in the center of that expansion, you can get sometimes larger hail cores, and that's what we're seeing. Latest radar scan is actually notching that up a little bit in the White City area and also to the south of Ephesus Heights. You can see just within that last radar scan, we were just talking about how the hail core gets a little bit bigger, and at some point, sometimes you can get a slightly larger production of hail out of this. So moving into the White City now, we're talking about 1.5 inches hail. That's gonna be a little bit smaller than golf ball size, but still a decent chunk of ice coming out of the sky here. Same for folks that are in Ephesus Heights now. So something that we're watching unfold right before our eyes with this thunderstorm. And there's a lot of ways we can look at thunderstorms, right? We can dive into them, see how they are intensifying. One way you can see that a thunderstorm is intensifying is by doing a cross-section analysis. This is TV. We're not going to do that on TV. That's nerdy stuff for us behind. But we can basically see how tall the thunderstorms are growing in the atmosphere. If it keeps increasing in height, you have a developing thunderstorms, and sometimes you can see those. Everybody in school, we talked about cumulonimbus clouds, right? Typically, you know, the taller they are, the stronger the storm. That's essentially the same thing. We can use radar to slice it and see how tall the storm is. Another thing we can see is the trends in lightning. Typically, if you see more lightning strikes, an increase in the lightning strikes, that's a way of saying that the storm is getting a little bit more energetic. With hail, whenever you start to see larger hail cores, so we're gonna have a little science lesson. It's gonna be real short. The way that hail is developed in these thunderstorms, you got updraft, you got downdraft. Sometimes these ice crystals, they get caught up in the updraft, downdraft. Whenever you look at a hail, you look at a piece of hail, it actually looks like it's been through it, right? It's not a smooth surface. It looks like it's been building on each other. And that's exactly what happens because as the hail goes up higher in the atmosphere, it gets cold. It comes back down a little bit in the downdraft, and it starts to melt just a little bit. But before it can come down and completely melt, it gets caught back up in the updraft and goes back up and refreezes. So that's why hail cores kind of look like they have layers, right? So the stronger the updraft, the larger the hail core typically is because it'll keep shooting that hail back up. And at some point, the hail gets large enough, heavy enough to actually fall beyond the hail core. So you know that whenever you see 1.5 inches diameter in hail, you know that you have a very aggressive thunderstorm. You know that you have a strong storm. And when you see the hail size increase, you know that you have a strengthening storm. So that's something that we're tracking as this storm is pushing through this part of now northwestern Douglas County. But that